We are Pigmented Taboo, and we
Speak
your
your
thoughts.
thoughts.
Okay, guys, welcome back to Pigmented Taboo. Today we have a very special guest, the wonderful, beautiful Mide Oni.
Period.
Yes.
Hello.
Today is a very special episode because this is our first woman, and also
Am I?
yes,
Yeah.
she's the first woman on the show, and obviously a beautiful Black woman.
Period.
And today's conversation is very important, not just for the gay community, but the Black community as a whole. So the first question, I just want to get right into it, Mide. If you found out your son was gay, how would you feel?
I think I'd be all right with it, you know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would be an issue per se. He's still my son.
Mm-hmm.
I'd still love him.
Amazing. Knowing that, I know we spoke previously, you said you're Christian. How do you tie in your religion into the homosexual lifestyle?
So if I'm being very honest with you, I don't actually think about it.
Okay.
Yeah, it's not something that I
consider.
think about. So I just focus on my salvation.
Okay.
You know, I think about my relationship with God, and I genuinely don't think about the homosexual community when it comes to Christianity. I don't think it concerns me.
Good.
Do you know what I
Fair
mean?
enough.
Yeah.
Yes.
But
yeah, go ahead.
in relation to the question though.
Oh, in relation
So-
to the question. Okay.
Yeah.
In terms of my son.
Yeah. So then how
Hypothetical
would
son.
huh?
Yes.
My hypothetical son.
Yeah,
Hypothetical son.
hypothetical son.
Okay, wait,
yeah.
let's okay. You have a daughter?
I have a daughter, yeah.
Okay, so let's switch it up. If she turned out to be a lesbian, how would you?
Yeah, I don't think it would deter. Obviously, I'm still her mom.
Yes.
I still love her. I still, and I do think ultimately as a parent, there's only so much you can do to influence your child's decision, especially when they get to a certain age. Obviously I would give her my thoughts on it, but I can't change her and it's not going to stop me from loving her.
But what would be your thoughts on it?
Like, I would say to her, in terms of like my choices, it's not something that I would personally want for you.
Got it.
But at the end of the day, it's your life to live, and yeah.
I know you're Nigerian. Yoruba.
I am.
Yes.
I am.
I'm Nigerian as well.
Yeah.
And I know when my mom found out, it was a bit of a struggle. And it's still an ongoing battle, but we're trying to mend that relationship as best as we can.
Yeah.
But I grew up in a Muslim background, not a Christian background. But I know Kojo grew up in a Christian background, and his parents found out, and it was
Yeah, so I grew up in a Christian background, and actually I did want to jump in and like when you said, oh, obviously she has a daughter, and I was like, I do believe that for girls coming out as gay and boys coming out as gay is a completely different outcome, because I believe that women being gay are a little bit more accepted than men being gay in society, because it feeds into the male gaze, and most men don't mind a woman being bisexual, whereas a lot of women would mind a man being bisexual. So that kind of like that affects whether you have a daughter or a son in a sense. But see, for example, for me, growing up in a Christian household, like I used to go to a Pentecostal church from very young, and I got baptized twice and everything. In my experience, I feel like it's not about the parent in itself, it's more so about the community,
what they'll say
and what the community say, and to be fair, if you are more masculine presenting, I don't think so. My parents' problem was more so the fact that I was feminine, so people could tell. But if it was a situation where if I was more masculine and people couldn't tell, I don't think they would have cared as much.
Fair enough.
Let me jump into that, because even my mom, she was like, you can do whatever you want on the side, but go get married, have a wife. I'm like, I'm not going to trap a woman into that lifestyle.
It's very common, yeah.
And that even ties into what I'm going to ask you next. Is like, have you ever considered being with a bisexual man? Or if you found out a man was bisexual, how would that influence your thoughts on him?
I don't think I could be with a bisexual man.
I love the honesty. Why?
I don't think I think there's...
Shut up.
Yeah.
She's real. Get into it.
I appreciate that. But what is the reason for that, though?
My main issue with that is that there's already so much competition when it comes to just even men dating women.
Like men in general.
And let me refute that. Not competition, but issues.
Yeah, but there's
With
competition.
men dating women, and it's already like, you got to do this, you got to do that, and then I'm going to now add him being interested in men as well.
Dealing with that.
No, but I disagree though, because
it's just too much to think about.
I see that angle.
I think
That's
that
my thought.
I see that angle.
personally, I think that's like a easy like way out that a lot of people used to say.
Okay, but let me say
because
the part
deep
two.
your man is meant to be loyal to you regardless of
Yeah,
if he's
but
bi or
but
not.
then that's meant to
Technically, yeah.
technically.
But then I think that for women is more so a shame thing. Again, you know how we say what other people think?
Yeah.
I feel like for women is more so I think, imagine if he cheats on me now and
a
he's
man.
cheating on me with a man. That's what
no, absolutely.
Like,
Yeah, no.
Wouldn't that be better though?
That he cheats on me with a man.
Yes, because most women say, like I was speaking to like elderly women about the same topic and they say, I would rather find out that my partner has cheated on me with a man than another woman, because at least the man is giving him something I can't give
this
him.
is so funny, Mide, because I cut you because I primarily date bisexual men. It's not a choice, but it just happens to happen. Like most of the men I've dated are bisexual, and I'm always like, okay, if he were to cheat on me with a woman, I wouldn't care because I don't have a pussy. Like he's getting what he's getting from me.
I hear that.
So I see that angle, but I feel like women think of it differently because women, at the end of the day, they I don't know.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
women. Obviously, you want to be the prize. You want to be like the
Yeah.
princess. So
Yeah.
for men, it's like kind of like you don't mind being like the side piece or whatever.
Yeah.
You know.
And also in addition to the whole thought process of, now I'm gonna have to deal with you dating men as well. Like, I personally, dating a man knowing that you're intimate with other men, I wouldn't be able to handle that.
Really?
What is
Yeah.
it about that it like? Because I mean, I'm not being like shady or anything, but you might not know that you've dated
No, I
someone.
mean,
Exactly.
yeah, absolutely.
That is full of hell, man.
that
crazy.
part. But I mean, knowing and not knowing are two. That's why they
different
say
things.
ignorance is bliss,
It's bliss.
right?
I agree with
Like,
that.
I might have.
Yeah.
I'm sure I have.
London.
I'm sure I have, right?
Hey, wait, hold on. You said you sure you have.
I'm sure I have.
Do you have like a story,
story.
for us?
I don't have a story per se, but like I just feel like I've encountered certain men that they say things which it's a bit like, that's a bit odd.
Can you expand on that? Sorry, I'm very interested in that.
Yeah. So like I dated this guy and I said it on another podcast. I dated this guy and he said to me that he would never like try anal or anything like that because what if he liked it and the next thing you know he's dating men.
He would
And I
never
was
try.
like,
As in, wait. He would
Anal
never try
sex.
anal, as in you pegging him.
No, as in just anal.
Oh, what?
Yeah, like anal in general. He would never do anything with his bum.
Oh, with his bum.
With his bum.
Not regarding to you.
No, as in with his bum.
With his own
Oh,
bum.
Like, like some girls like to
Eat a guy out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like he said he would
Perform
never do
analingus.
that. Yeah, that. He would never try it because what if he liked it and next thing you know
He's gonna like it.
He's gay. And I was like, that was such a far
Out of the blue.
It was so out of the blue. I never asked. It was just randomly came up in conversation.
Oh wait, you never asked to eat him out. He just brought it
No,
up.
he just randomly brought it up, and I was
He was
just
trying to be
like,
coy. He was like, maybe she's gonna eat me out.
I don't know why he said it. I don't know why he said it. I don't know what. I can't even recall where the conversation had
Came
come from,
from.
but it was so random. And also, that conversation wasn't just isolated to him. Like I've had that conversation with someone else as well.
Oh, so this is a conversation
This
that
is something
happens.
that some guys just say, and I'm just like, but why would you be worried about that?
Why would you think of? But then at the same time, I'm not gonna lie to you. I do think that we should men dating women, they should have more room for exploring different sexual
Not with
fantasies.
No, period.
Not with me.
She likes what she likes.
Yeah, not
Period.
with
You
me.
like it traditional, just
It's not
you know.
traditional, but it's
So
not even-
you wouldn't get a strap for a guy?
No.
Okay.
Yeah, because there was a situation of
Last week.
this lady that she outed. She
didn't out him.
thought she outed
Yeah.
her ex-partner for using a strap on him.
Yeah.
Okay.
I personally don't believe using a strap on a man
Makes him
is
gay.
is gay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because men's G-spot is in their
Of course, supposedly they
anal
debunked
thing.
that.
So
Okay.
Supposedly.
a woman using a strap on a man, I think that is still heterosexual sex. And that's why this might sound controversial, shoot me, but I think trans women topping straight men, meaning trans women using their
penis.
on a man, I do not believe that is homosexual activity.
That's very
I think
I
that is
see-
that
straight.
is very homosexual.
No,
No, I
In
don't
my-
think
in my
you
opinion.
think
Why do you
so,
think
because
so?
a trans woman is a woman
Yeah.
using her,
Her penis.
private part to please a man. That is heterosexual
No.
sex.
Not for me.
In my opinion.
I feel like I see your take on it, but then I see his take on it, because if we think about what is a trans woman, when I think about trans men and trans women, I think about the construct of man and woman, not male and female. So trans women, trans men, they're presenting as men, they're presenting as women, they have their attributes. A lot of them you can't even tell until they, of course. So I think in that aspect, it is still heterosexual, because a lot of men I've spoken to, they wouldn't sleep with me because I don't have breasts, I don't do the makeup, I am still a man. But if I were to transition in the face of a public, I could potentially pass for a biological woman.
I think.
You know what? This conversation is so complex, right? Yes. Because obviously there's what you're saying, there's people that obviously would have that thought process. But for me, I'm just like, if a man is getting a penis in his bum, that is gay.
Even a fake penis.
Yeah, like, yeah.
Anything up his bum, like,
yeah,
it's like,
for me personally,
but you see, that is down to,
for me,
that is down to,
I can't even compute what you're saying. I genuinely can't.
No, I understand.
I can't even understand it.
I understand, but I want to take it to the next question. In that case, have you ever had a situation with a woman, like maybe you're drunk, you kissed a girl?
Yeah.
Does that make you a lesbian?
I think it makes me bi-curious in that moment.
But you see what I mean? I think it's more acceptable for women to explore sex
100%.
rather than men to explore
100%.
sex.
It's sexy when a girl kisses a girl.
you know, but because it feeds into the male gaze and that turns the man on.
Yeah.
Because, for example, a man will have two women in bed, but if a woman asks for a man to bring another man in, they might be a bit shook.
Yeah.
Raw.
Yeah.
Like, why do you
bring another man here? Like, do you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Even though, I have another question, actually. This might sound a bit like, I don't know. Does gay porn turn on women?
Yeah.
Period. I didn't know
You've
that.
watched gay porn before?
I have. I don't watch porn anymore.
Good.
But
Well, not good.
Amen.
I don't
Girl,
watch
please,
porn
I watch porn
anymore.
today.
But yeah, like, you know.
Period. Because you're the third woman that said to me that, like, gay porn kind of like be, you know, feeling good. But so obviously you're rigid. I think, do you think like your religious upbringing also like influences like these decisions?
So,
that, you know,
funnily enough, my mum's Muslim.
Oh,
I wasn't actually I was brought up Catholic, but I wouldn't say it was a regimented religion. Like, it wasn't like, you know, it was just kind of like we went to church on Catholic mass on Sunday, and that was it. It wasn't really like religious. I would say that my Christian journey started when I was like 21, and that's when I started, like, I went to church properly. But yeah, that's, my upbringing wasn't like strict or anything.
I don't think a lot of Black women's perception to homosexuality even ties to religion. I think it ties to society and the fact that as Black people we have a lot of pressure to be tough, even women. So that's why, like, there's the angry Black woman trope. Like, why are you yelling? Why are you making noise? And the men, we have to be thugs. So the idea of a gay man being Black, it kind of hurts that construct. Do you think, for you, for example, what kind of men do you date? Do you like the very hyper masculine, the boy's boy, or do you like, what's your type?
Do you know what? Yeah, my type is like, I like a very, I don't know what term to use, but like back in the day I would go for a hood man. Like, that was my go-to. Like, I love you, thug. But as I've like matured, I really like, I don't know what else to call him, but a Shoreditch guy.
A Shoreditch guy.
Yeah, I don't know what else to.
I get it.
This is what I call it, right? I call it an educated
thug.
No, like
he's not a thug.
No, not a thug, but he's like, he's got like,
she said no.
You love Jay-Z, don't you?
He's like arty. He's
Skepta?
like, no, not even. Just think about like the bean hat with the Matrix jacket.
Okay.
But the thing is, like, he can run a home, but he's hood smart.
Yeah, and like like
For me, hood smart is like the best, because it's kind of like, if we're in a situation, I need for you to know, okay, don't do this, let's not
like
go here.
He can do.
I don't know, like, he's polished.
Yes.
Like, I like a guy that is not afraid to explore. Like, it's not.
But explore what? Because you said that you're like,
No, I don't want him to explore that type of stuff. I mean, he's not afraid to like, no, man, don't try them type of things. Like, no, like
fair.
You can, you know, you're cultured, you know, you're educated, you're erudite, you want to do things. Like, you don't just want to be in the box, speaking in third person. Like,
I heard that.
You know, like, I like a man that's like groomed.
Like, you don't want no man that will move to you like, yo.
Oh my God.
Absolutely not.
But
that is crazy.
I like that you say this because a lot of times when men are like that, there's always a bit of sus. Like, why is he doing his nails? Why is he taking care of his skin?
Yeah.
Why is he? But the fact that you say you're attracted to those kind of men means that you see past. It's not. I don't know how to explain. Like, you don't box them into like the stereotype of.
See, this is the thing, right? I think that men that don't explore themselves are more, what's the word I'm looking for? They are the ones that struggle with their sexuality, as opposed to the men that are, you know, willing to that they explore fashion and they try new things.
Creativity,
and do you know what I mean? Like, I feel like those men, they don't struggle with their sexuality. They know who they are. They know what they like. Do you know what I mean? And they're not, even if they were bisexual or gay, they wouldn't be afraid to say it. I think it's the guys that are just like, no, why for that? Pause. Those are the ones that I'm like,
the hyper masculine.
Those ones
also,
are a bit.
Would a man being homophobic be a deal breaker for you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
Because why are you scared? Why are you not scared? Why are you making
the reason why I say that,
Yeah.
because there's a lot of black women. I've had black women friends in the past that we was friends and we was like close, but then they will familiarize or be kiki with men that will be like, bye man, and or this, and she's laughing with them. But then at the same time, you're meant to be my friend, and you're like, you're my friend at the same time. But then when you're with him, you're like laughing at the jokes, or you're like,
I just think it's really weird, like when the whole homophobic thing is very weird to me, right? Because why are you so pressed about what someone else is doing with their body? Like, it doesn't make any sense to me. If it's not your bum, if it's not bothering you, like, why are you so concerned about what another man is doing? Like, why is it bothering you that much? That is a red flag for me. Like, that is very concerning. So yeah, if a man's like, I'm just like, no, sorry, I can't.
Have you ever had that in the past where you've been chilling with your guy and the next thing he sees like, let's say for example I walk past and then he's like fuck
Batty
him,
man.
batty man, fucking look at that.
It's happened to me once. I've had a friend who has, you know, openly said whatever, and I'm like, why? I called him out because you guys see my content. I'm not afraid to call people out. Like, I'm very strict. Like, why are you bothered? Why is it bothering you so much?
What was his response?
He was just like, I just don't like stuff like that.
don't like it.
But why?
But why?
What's it got to do with you?
What's it rooted in?
Yeah, why are you so, like, have you ever thought about why you hate this so much? Is it because you like it and you don't want to admit it?
Was that an uncomfortable conversation for him to have? Did he brush it off, or did he actually explain?
No, he was like, louder.
Yeah, of course.
Louder.
They don't want to think. They don't want to think.
You know, it's always louder. That's the answer you're gonna get.
And then you just leave it there.
Just like whatever, like, but just don't do that. That's weird.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? It's weird.
No,
to tie back into the bisexual men thing, you said you were bi-curious.
Yeah.
So if were.
Yeah.
Yeah, like kissing a So if a guy was like, oh yeah, back in the day when I was 18, when I was 20, I kissed a guy, I let him suck my dick, but I realized I didn't like it. And to be with you, what would you
I think that's calm.
You think it's fine?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, you knew you didn't like it.
Yeah, you tried it.
Yeah.
So you would never bring it against him when you guys break up, and you'd be like, oh, I knew that you was gay because
I think that's a really good answer and a good mindset that a lot of women should have, because I feel like with a lot of men, especially black men, they're afraid to explore their sexuality because they're like, oh, what if I try it and I like it? You do like it, then whatever. But what if you try it and you don't like it?
Yeah.
Fine. Like, there should be room for men to explore the same way that we give women to the grace to women. And I feel like that's the problem in the black community. Like, if a man even looks at a guy, it's like, oh, why are you checking him out?
Yeah.
But I see with women, like, women are like, oh, you got a nice bum. You got a guy can't even compliment a guy. He has to be like, oh, girls must love you. Like, you love me. Like, why are you commenting? So I think we need to give black men that grace.
I agree. I'm all for, like, trying things and, like, do you know what I mean? Not boxing yourself in, because I've literally been in a situation where I wasn't myself, if that makes sense. Like I wasn't living in my truth. And I was depressed.
Yeah.
I was so depressed. I was fat and ugly. And I was so...
You were fat?
I was a size 20, yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. It was huge, huge. And I was just depressed. I just didn't look good because I wasn't... And it's not just about looks, but I'm just saying, like...
I
didn't feel good. I was not happy because I was basically conforming to the standards that other people wanted for me. And when I broke free of that, it was the most liberating thing ever. So I'm all for people trying what they want to do. Do you know what I mean? Like I just think do what you want to do.
Can I ask you, when it comes to your dating history, how does it compare to what you were before to what you are now? Have you seen like a juxtaposition? Is it different? Do you feel like men move like approach you?
Are you talking about when I was fat?
When you were opposed to now?
I mean, yeah, it's different. You just have to call a spade a spade. It's different. You know, like obviously bigger girls, I can't speak for every big girl, but you're still gonna, if you're attractive, period.
Yeah.
But you're gonna get an influx of different type of guys, I would say. Like, so when I was bigger, I still got guys, but it was the type of guys the caliber of guys. I mean,
what did you feel like they fetishized the fact that you were a bigger woman?
I wouldn't necessarily say that. I just think that they weren't like guys that I would go for now.
No.
I think that they were guys that, if I'm being honest, I was managing.
Okay.
Yeah. If I'm
so
being honest.
It was like a tolerance situation. Was like, okay.
It was like, yeah, you know.
And like as a black woman, as a dark-skinned black woman as well, do you feel like the world moves to you differently?
So I've never had the dark skin issue.
Really?
Okay.
No.
But I think that's because we're in London as well. Maybe.
Wow. Maybe. I don't know. No, because I think a lot of girls have had the...
No.
So it's so funny because I had the dark skin conversation with my friend the other day, right? And like, because I went to school in Nigeria at a very young age, yeah. When I got to Nigeria, I was beautiful. Everyone's, who is this beautiful black girl? So that shaped how I saw myself. Like I was like a beautiful dark-skinned girl from when I was young. Like I just thought I was beautiful and I'm dark-skinned. So when I got back from Nigeria and I just still had that mindset. Like I never saw myself as a dark, like, even though I am dark-skinned, people would say to me, you're dark-skinned, you're pretty for a dark-skinned girl.
I said that to you?
Yeah. I used to hear that all the time. But I never heard the last part. All I heard was you're pretty.
And then it was like reaffirms, like,
yeah, it just reaffirms what I knew. I was just like, I'm pretty, thank you.
Literally.
I never, and I'm not saying that the dark skin issue doesn't exist, because obviously we all know it does. But I think it was a perspective thing for me. I just was like, I'm pretty, period. It's not, I'm pretty for a dark skin girl.
I'm happy you even brought up the dark skin, light skin thing, because I feel like even with men, there's a idea, especially in America, like light skinned men are more susceptible to being. Do you go for light skinned men, dark skinned men, or you don't have any preference when it comes to color?
Do you know what? I've always dated dark skinned men. I don't know why. I'm more attracted to dark skinned men, if I would be honest with you. I think I've dated a light skinned guy before. Yeah. But yeah,
because the reason why sorry babe, the reason why I asked you that is because the world does try its hardest to humble black women, especially dark-skinned black women.
Yeah.
So they put you in a box that you wouldn't even know that you're in until you're in that situation.
Yeah.
So navigating yourself in the world, especially when it comes to dating, it's like you're saying that you grew up in an environment where people saw your beauty first, but they saw your skin. So for you to be in a date, especially in London Pool, where there is different types of people, you've got a mix of dark skin, light skin, whatever they want to be. When it comes to men have a certain fetishization when it comes to black women, especially dark skinned black women, where it's like you have to be hard and you have to be the mother and you have to be the wife and you have to be the coach and you have to be all of these different things, it doesn't allow you to exude in your femininity.
See, I agree with you. I agree with you, but I've always been somebody that lives my life based on perspectives.
Yes.
Right? That is a perspective and that is a reality. I'm not going to take away from anybody's reality, but I just don't conform to that in terms of like, I'm not going to let anybody humble me because I'm dark skinned.
Yes. Yeah.
No. I'm beautiful, period. And like, not everyone's going to see me and think I'm beautiful, and that's your problem. For me, I think I'm beautiful, and that's all that matters because I live in my body, in my world. Do you know what I mean? So like, I think that with the dark skin things, it's not like, oh, because you're dark skinned, you're not going to encounter certain issues. Of course, like we know that, but I just don't. How do I say this? Like, because I know people will be like, oh yeah, but it still happens. I know it happens, but I just, so a man thinketh, so he is.
Yes.
You're right.
You don't let it define you.
I don't let it define me.
100%.
I'm like, I'm brilliant, period.
Yeah.
It's
That's
not
it,
based
yeah.
on anything. It's not, you're not going to humble me because I'm dark skinned. So like I said, when people would say you're pretty for a dark skinned girl, I didn't hear the other part.
Yeah.
I just heard I'm pretty.
Yeah.
Because it's important for our listeners to hear that, because we have such a mix of listeners. Like we have women, we have men, we have younger and older, and especially the younger generation. They are chronically online.
Yeah.
And the narrative online all the time is the same push. You have these red pill incel men that are pushing these narratives onto young people.
Yeah.
So especially when we are speaking, it's important for us to say the reality is when you step into the street and you actually live life.
Yeah.
That's not the case.
Yeah.
You are loved, you are adored. You don't even have to think about your skin half the time. You don't have to think about your...
Literally. And it's like, I think my experience has been very... especially when it comes to like how I'm perceived, the guys that I date, friendships, whatever, I have had a good experience in life just in general because I think I'm the shit.
Do people
Absolutely.
feel
Like-
intimidated by you though? Do you think?
I don't know if they do. I don't know. People would say to me a lot that, oh, you think you're all that. And I'm like,
And it's
yeah.
good.
They
Who
try to
gives a
humble.
shit?
They try to humble black women a lot.
Good.
They try to
Yeah,
humble
Who
black
gives a
women.
shit?
You think you're all that, and I'm like,
I am.
am I supposed to think I'm poo?
Yeah.
Like, I don't get it.
Everyone
Like,
should, everyone should think they're
Fam.
their shit. Everyone
Of
should think
course.
they're
Yeah,
their
yeah,
Do you know
yeah.
what I mean? Like, I'm like, of course I think I'm the shit. What else am I supposed to think of myself?
But it's British culture though, because British culture is about putting yourself down and being humble.
Yeah. And I don't believe in humility.
I think
Same.
it's bullshit.
Yeah, humility is for
I think it's bullshit.
non-believers or
I-
unbelievers or what do I always say?
I don't believe
Yeah, I
in
think
Even
it's
if you're
bullshit.
unsure of yourself, it's always best to walk with your head high and make
Yeah.
people think, oh yeah,
Yeah.
like I know.
Yeah.
There's so many times I walked into rooms because I wear like very revealing clothing or very like I don't know how to call it.
Slut. Himbo.
Like, I wear stuff that other people could even like think of wearing,
Yeah.
and they're like, "How did you walk out like that?" And I was like, I mean, I was a bit unsure of it, but you're not gonna tell.
Especially in the black
Yeah.
community, because there's a gay black community in London. It's very small, it's very tight knit. But when we go out, Kojo is like unapologetically himself. He wears what he wants, and we walk into rooms, and people are like, "Ugh." And it's like, why are you scared to explore your femininity as a black man? And I think it again ties it into the whole hyper masculine, like I have to be man to me, even if you're gay. And I think it's just it's not fair.
No, it's not fair.
I did have a question for you about because we actually had a whole episode about homophobia in the black community, etc., etc. And like we kind of like spoken about like how me and Wendy was coming back home from the club one day, and there was like aunties like on aunties on the train like giving us
Victoria line.
evil looks on their way to church. So like, what is your
How do you know
stand?
they were going to church?
Because she was wearing like African attire, and usually you wear that like to church.
Fair enough.
And or she was coming from church because it was actually evening. But what are your stance on? Do you think church is welcoming? Do you think church is welcome? Do you think gay people are welcome in church, and without church trying to change them?
Yes.
So I mean, I can't speak for every church. Churches should be welcoming to all, but also church is
Political.
it is political, and obviously it's depending on the church that you go to. They have their different doctrines and different beliefs and things like that. So obviously I can't speak for all churches. Fundamentally, all churches should be welcoming to all because the word of God says, come as you are, right? Does the church try to change you? Yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because the church is a home. The church is a hospital, essentially. That's what the church should be seen as. It's a hospital for everybody of different calibers to fight in whatever, thing that they're battling. You come to church to be healed. That's
Agreed.
essentially what it is,
Agreed,
right?
yeah.
So does the church try to change you? Yeah. It tries to change everybody.
I don't like that stance, sorry, because it's like it's placing the fact that what I'm getting is that homosexuality, being gay, is a sickness.
Yeah.
But if you, as a gay man, you're comfortable in your sexuality, like God loves me for who I am, why does the church need to try and change me?
Because if you are, so being a Christian, you can be gay and be Christian.
100%.
Yeah, that was the question, essentially.
You can be gay and be Christian. You can be a fornicator and be Christian.
100%.
I mean, you could be an adulterer and be Christian. You cannot be a spirit-filled believer and be gay. You cannot be a spirit-filled believer and be a fornicator, because the principle of God is to be holy, and he wants us all to be holy, and those things are not in line with being holy.
But do you think the idea of holiness is... I feel like a religion, Abrahamic religions, Islam, Christianity, whatever, they're really based on the patriarchy. And when you look at what is a sin and what is not, it usually benefits the men. You don't think
All the
so?
time.
All the time. It's like what the men want, what the men approve of, what the men say is right.
I don't believe that.
Fair enough.
Not that I don't believe that. I do think that obviously religion is heavily based on patriarchy, right? But I'm not religious. I have a relationship with God, and I think it's very different. Like, because I don't conform to certain practices that are religious. Like, I just don't conform to it. Everything that I do is Holy Spirit led. I will go to God and say, this is how I feel. This is what, like, talk to me, that type of thing, right? So when I say that the church is a hospital, I stand by what I say, because when you come to church, obviously we're all broken. We're all sinners. Like, no sin is above anybody. Nobody is more righteous. I'm not more righteous than anybody here, and vice versa. But we go to church to get closer to God. But that comes with surrenderance, right?
Would you say you've surrendered yourself completely?
100%.
Yeah, but what I was saying was you can surrender yourself completely to God and still be who God made you.
So what do you mean by that?
So I don't believe that God made a mistake by making gay people. And I don't believe that God will willingly make people automatically for them to be wrong or for them to be automatic sinners. I feel like God intended to make gay people.
See, obviously I have to disagree.
Yeah.
Right? I have to disagree because I just don't, maybe like I haven't come across that word in the Bible for me. Right? Where I can say that God made people gay.
No, but obviously it doesn't come across in the Bible the way I've said it. But God made every single human being as himself. That it says in the Bible.
Yeah.
So I don't believe that he's made anyone wrong.
Yeah, no,
If that makes sense.
I agree with that. But then also there are things that it might not be you specifically, might be your family or things like that, where certain doors have been opened
That influence you?
that influence you.
I would agree with that. But then homosexuality has been around forever.
Yeah.
So now a lot of Nigerians love to blame the West, but homosexuality was around even before social media and colonization. So how do you explain that? How do you explain the fact that you find gay men everywhere, not just in America and the UK and Asia, everywhere? How do you explain that?
I think that obviously, like, I don't want to talk about what homosexuality is because I personally don't know.
Fair enough.
Right? And I don't want to sit here and be like, it's this, it's that. But the same way homosexuality has probably been around from the beginning of time, God was there at the beginning of time, and so was the devil. So there's so many things that have been around from the beginning of time because they've been influenced by good and bad. Do you know what I mean? And I'm not saying that homosexuality is bad or whatever, like, please don't misquote me. I'm just saying that to answer what you've just said is that there's been, if everything has been from the beginning of time, because there's been sin from the beginning of time. Do you get what I mean? Does that make sense?
Well,
Yeah.
Sin started when Eve bit the apple.
But I think when it comes to Christianity, because I'm not religious, and I've spent my adult years kind of like
deconstructing,
de-learning, finding my own journey, because I feel like there is a lot of things within religion that hold especially Black people back.
Yeah.
All the time.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you see Africans on TV rolling on the ground and fasting for 50 days and 50 nights, but it's the same outcome.
Yeah.
You're still going back to your struggle. You're still going back to your things, right? So when it comes to sexuality, for me, it's like there's so much bullshit that's happening in this world that religion always seems to hone down and try to destroy homosexuality as being the core problem of everything, right? You have people. Yeah, I mean, one of the core problems, but it's one of the things that drive people to be like, oh, we need to rise up and we need to fight this thing that's, you know, the boogeyman kind of thing. But you have so many different things. You've got people in church that are out here doing crazy shit.
Little girls are getting raped.
Little boys
are getting raped.
Yeah, but that's the truth of the matter, is that all of these things that are happening in church, why do we always focus on the one thing that, to be honest, doesn't really matter? Because sexuality is the last thing that people should be caring about. And
then they fuel, the reason why I brought religion into it is because they're using the Bible and like church and as fuel to just like to fuel
justify violence.
Violence and stuff. Like this gay boy that got killed because of being gay in Nigeria, like he got ketoed.
Beat.
After he died, at his funeral, people showed up to his funeral in the name of God to kind of like still hound him and say that he deserved to die.
God,
like, do you know what I mean?
God.
Yes,
and that's
but they used it as an excuse.
That's not love either, God. Because the whole point of religion is love.
Yeah, that's not God. And you know, like, let's take it back to slavery. They used God to justify their actions. That's not God. You know, I mean, like you said, God is love and God is pure. He wouldn't, like, he's not gonna condone that. He's not going to justify that. He's not going to fuel that. So God is not laced in hate.
I'm happy you brought back, you mentioned slavery and colonization, because I have a very strong belief that if it wasn't for colonization, Africans would not be Christians and Muslims today. How do you, because you mentioned slavery and you said they used the word of God to justify slavery then, how do you justify that with your practice of Christianity today? Like,
so from my knowledge, Christianity was actually already in Africa,
Ethiopia,
yes. Right? So I just think, for me personally, I think Christianity, right, is not, like I said, it's not, the religious aspect is not something that I conform to. I conform to God. Right, I've conformed to God
in your own journey.
In my own journey, I follow God through and through. I have a relationship with God. Nobody can convince me otherwise, because I've seen what he can do,
of course,
how he's shown up in my life and how he leads me on a daily basis. Right, so certain things about Christianity and the religion I don't agree with.
Amen.
I don't. Right, and these are things that obviously with me I would have to, and I think a lot of things are man-made. You understand? Like, I was literally I was talking to my friend the other day. You guys know the story of Delilah?
Oh, my days, yeah. I think I remember it from Sunday school, but I don't remember. Where she cut his hair.
He cut his hair.
Yeah. It was one of my favorite stories.
He told him he told him his secrets, whatever. A lot of people will say, oh, you got the spirit of Delilah, all of these things, yeah. But when you look at that story, and this is the problem with how, like you were saying, in terms of like the patriarchy and Christianity, when you actually break down that story, right? Delilah was a woman that was sent by her, let's say her village, right? To go and get this man's secrets who has come to destroy them. She doesn't know this man from a can of paint, but she's been told to go and get his secrets because she's beautiful, whatever. She's gone to seduce him. And something's happened. I'm paraphrasing here, so like go and read the story yourself, right? But he won the first battle where like God basically saved him, right? He didn't tell Delilah his secrets, but God saved him because they came for him, whatever. He went back
for more.
He went back to Delilah, knowing what she was actually after, and still proceeded to tell her his secrets. Who's at fault here?
Yeah, since the beginning of time, men have always
Who's
wanted.
at fault? No, please, let's break it down.
Because men are weak.
Commenting
No, they
with
are.
them.
Exactly. You had no self-control. You were not thinking. You allowed your small head to think for your big head.
Fair enough.
And now you've got
We
your...
can't even
Your
take it back
shit
to Adam and
right.
Eve then,
Yeah.
because no one asked Adam to bite the apple.
Thank
after
you.
Eve. But the fact that they're using women as the
Scapegoat,
yeah,
always.
why are women the
Because
scapegoat?
and you know what it is, yeah, as well, like, because it's everything. Every life is spiritual, and everything is back down to the word of God. Yeah, in the word of God, it says that the woman is the one that will press the head of the serpent, who is the devil.
Yeah.
And I think that that's why there is a big agenda against women, because
it is.
ultimately
Absolutely.
the woman, like, if you have a praying woman, if you have a woman that is steadfast and believes and is a spirit-filled believer, there's nothing that woman cannot do. She can tear the singlets off the devil.
100%.
And he knows that.
Yeah.
And that's why there's that constant agenda against women who
And
say
femininity.
and femininity and all of these
But
things.
then
The
that
worst
being-
thing you can say to a man is that, oh yeah, you're moving like a bitch.
Yeah. Why is that an insult?
Why is that the worst thing you can say to a man is you're moving like a bitch? It's because the idea of femininity is such it's such an agenda against the patriarch.
It's
Do you know what I mean?
I'm
Yeah,
glad
yeah,
you
yeah,
say
yeah,
this
yeah.
because
Glad you
again,
said
it tracks
that.
back into homophobia because people are, especially black men, we're supposed to be super masculine. So the idea of black men is soft or feminine is
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I mean, like,
I'm
even
so
for me,
glad you
like,
said
I feel like I'm a girl's gay. Like, I've had girlfriends my whole life, even when I was little. My mom is like my rock. My grandma was like my rock. My mom's friends. Like, I've grown around femininity, but the thing is, I've seen femininity in its full essence, right? So every time I see like a woman like in a relationship and she's struggling, or she's in a situation where she feels like her power's been undermined, it stresses me out, because I'm kind of like, women don't realize how powerful they are. Like, all you have to do as a woman to like, this might sound, you know,
Get
like,
what you want.
like I'm pimping bitches out, but I'm
Yeah, just be.
No, just
just
your
be,
pussy.
just
I
exist.
always
Oh,
say,
just pussy.
Yeah, just come to the interview.
Babe, as a woman, you can just be,
Yeah,
babe.
come to
I
the
always
interview.
say, yeah, that obviously women are the superpower, but they just don't know
they don't
it.
know
don't
it.
know it.
But this ties in
Literally.
because I believe we can end homophobia if women were not so homophobic.
Yes, and women stood. But you see how you said women are so strong and they can hit the head of
Yeah,
a devil.
if-
If that
Yeah.
stood next to like gay men,
And be like, yes, let's fight this discrimination. Let's fight this homophobia. Let's stick. Okay, amazing. Thank you so much, Mide, for
Wish we
joining
had
us
more
today.
time.
Thank you for having
Wish we
me.
had more. Exactly.
if you
Hopefully,
have
we'll have you back again.
Yeah.
Expand on this conversation.
Definitely.
But it was an honor.
it
a
was
pleasure.
amazing
And
having
we
you as
learned a
our
lot.
first black woman guest
Literally.
as well.
Yes.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
We already have bad bitches on this show.
Exactly, you already know that.
Okay,
And we
great.
also got followed by Mr.
Billy Porter and Don Lemon.
And Don Lemon.
Oh, wow.
I know. I was like,
Big up, you
I go watch
guys.
it.
Amazing. Oh, that's
Yeah,
amazing.
Thank you
Yeah, it's
guys.
exciting.